And then, pop! At a stroke, and in a jiffy, and almost wholly by surprise, I find myself inside a dream, fully awake, in a sort of cavern, pitch black, and, hence, quite colourless, or, more likely, a place where colour has no meaning, a womb without a view, which nonetheless looks out upon each and every possibility of the multiverse, if that's a thing, which it's likely not. But no matter, it's a vast uncharted space, and I am in it. But am I one, too? Or even a vast multiplicity of selves? Can I find this dreaming self? Perhaps shake his hand, embrace him, slit his throat, get on my knees to thank him, list my grievances, my demands. All I know is that I now am somehow writing from within this place of deepest sleep and of dream. I'd always thought it lay within me, or perhaps beneath me, inviolable and inaccessible, its entry gates patrolled and protected by demons, flaming swords, perhaps even serpents, that sort of business. Certainly not that it would open quite this freely, invite me in, and pose no threat. At least this seems to be the case, as I now wonder. But is it wandering? How can one wander in such a space? A space which has no features, much less rooms, or tended gardens, or wild forests, or dense jungles. It's just a space, yet not a space. It's got no length, no width, no dimensions, and yet I'm here, and most definitely within it, looking about, though I've no eyes, and keenly listening, though I've no ears, and yet I do, and they are far sharper and more able to attend than when I am awake. Perhaps I'm God now. I've always said that when one dreams, that one is God, that when I dream, that I am God. But then we are gods, my dreaming self and I, if indeed he's someone different than myself. That is not clear. Perhaps he'll speak, or show himself, and make this somehow plain to me. In any case, we are together. I've the sense I'm not alone, and that I'm safe. And if he's watching, or he's waiting now to see what I'll do next, I've not decided. I could go this way, or go that way, which is odd, because I'm floating in a womb that has no mass, nor has it features, and is clearly just my mind, perhaps the mind of something greater and far larger than my mind, or even of the mind I share with him, who is my dreaming self, who is now me. What is that noise? Ah, it is familiar. It must be just before the morning, when he wakes, that other self, you know the one, that cortisol-awakened self, the one who vibrates, full of thoughts which gallop by at breakneck speeds, so full of worries, of apprehension. And now he's entered, the call's been sounded, we're all awake. Perhaps we'll pee now, all the members of this ghostly trio, though not quite ghostly, at least not entirely. For one is clearly wide awake, the one who swings his legs up and then off the bed. So now we're all dragged off to the bathroom, to find ourselves behind our everyday companion, this pair of eyes, which now looks down to watch a stream of piss that plummets like a waterfall to splash into the toilet. For the most part in the toilet, and with the customary, long familiar music of this minor waterfall, heard then by ears which have returned, it now appears, and which seem to function in their ordinary fashion. It's a music which goes far deeper than the musics made by men, which only sound like mindless chatter, rarely anything more than that. Oh, we are done now. The dick's been shaken. It's been returned to where it was, and now the three of us shall wander back to bed. That should be nice. Perhaps we'll sleep. We need not waken for some hours, all of us. Perhaps the dog is turned a right now, as in not a wrong now. That is to say, when her ass has claimed a spot which is all too near my face. But no matter. I can still stretch out my arm to rub her belly. Oh, this is nice. The agitation is subsiding. Perhaps the three of us can join now, become a solitary creature on a raft which now sets off upon a river. You know the one. It was a Greek one. Was it not? Perhaps Lethe? It hardly matters. So he was willing, after all, that half-crazed beast, so full of angst, addled with cortisol or with varieties of what-not, the stuff of life, the horrid stuff, which is the source of what one suffers when awake, the endless creatures in the woods and under cars that he is worried will be dead soon, the ones that rip his heart out as he contemplates the cruelty of the universe in which he finds himself. But now we've managed, the three of us, to surmount this, and to find ourselves in deepest sleep, where we can stumble towards the morning and its horrors in a fashion which, as a rule, more or less delights us. It seems I'm still bound up in words, and yet I know, inside this space, which is so vast, there are no words, just getting lost in one's own warm and milky limbs, which extend into a void. No, not those words, for this delicious, creamy feeling, this tasting, is it tasting, of a body which I no longer seem to be in? There is just space, prior to dream, a sleep so deep perhaps, I now am just some tiny blood cell, perchance a red one, or a white one, in a battle with intruders of whom I'll never be aware, because I'm floating in this milky, viscous space, as if I'm stumbling towards oblivion, which now calls, and I pick up, for that's a call I wish to take, I need respond to. I want directions, and assurances that this will be that bliss of which I've heard so many tell, most of whom are shameless frauds and shameful grifters. But that's no matter, I still believe I'll make it there. For now I'm here, and this ain't bad, that's for damned sure. The self that wanders through each day in abject pain is now adrift on purple waters of the most delightful river, and it seems as if I now possess a will, which I most surely don't possess in waking life, for in that life I simply shudder, as I wait for what is surely now to come, abominations and distress, which it's decreed I must submit to. But in this dream world it is different. I can act, and I can do. I can make the boat go this way, or stay still, or make it rise into the sky, which seems to offer me some peace, which is enchanting in a strange and very different sort of way than anything I've ever known. I'm rather happy. Well, there's a concept. No, not just happy, I am ecstatic. Although I know I'm in a dream, that dreams must end, and I'm just stalling, for the morning's not far off. And when it comes, this all will end, and to awaken is the worst thing that can happen to a man, just as the drifting off to sleep is quite the best. Well, that's to come, but this is now, and may it linger for as long as it is possible for such serenity as I feel now, to tarry, to hover, and to dawdle deep within me, in that soul of mine in which I don't believe. Am I dreaming this dream alone? How many dreamers might there be? As many as there are turtles holding up the world. Which one is I? Is this a foretaste of my death? Perhaps I am dead. Well then, it's not all that bad. What's all the fuss then? It's quite comfortable. I need for nothing. I've got it all. I've got my will. And because of that, there is a way. Indeed, there must be. So it's been said. But then I pause. A way to what? I want for nothing, only to stay here, and that forever. Not to waken to a world in which I find that their bunnies are under cars, which makes me dread that they might die there. And if that happens, it's quite certain that the sun will just shut down, or will explode. But either way, the world will shudder for an instant, burst into flame, or turn to ice. That is not something to stick around for. How much better to remain in this cocoon, which is delicious, in which saliva tastes like nectar, in which my blood has turned to wine, made out of grapes all grown in Eden, which were stomped upon by dancing, smiling children who are eternal as I'm eternal. I want to follow. I want to find them. I ask my comrades, can we turn in that direction? Try to find those joyous children, stomping grapes with such abandon? I want to see them. I want to join them. My blood is wine that's of their making. I need to tell them. I need to thank them. I won't use language. They'll simply know when I approach them what it is I wish to tell them without words. It's not a thing that can be told, just understood. They'll understand. They are my children, as I am theirs. Dear God, don't let the morning rip me from this womb which I have yearned for since before there was a world, which I preceded, as did you both. It was the three of us, remember. Before this spinning globe appeared, we were in space. It was tremendous. It was ecstatic. There was that woman. No, not just one. There were 1,000. They all bore us on their shoulders, do you remember? To that place. Yes, we had anguish. Not all that much, though. For the most part, there was love. They saw quite through us, and were delighted. You must remember. I see you do. Thank God you do. We're going there now. I've turned the boat in that direction. It shan't be long. The anguish simply means what follows will be exquisite. Don't be discouraged. I understand. I get that way. But just recall what I've recalled. It's in your minds just as in mine. We shall soon get there. You must believe me. The river's silent. Nay, it is breathless. It is eager that we trace it to its source. It was born once, as were we. It's being born while I am speaking. But I shall stop it, as I stop myself. And we shall row, and we will get there, before the morning sucks the air and dries the river. We've not long, but long enough. This is ridiculous, of course. I know that well, and know it truly. But I am sick of being modest. It has eaten up my life. It has shredded all my soul to blasted bits. It has crushed me to a bloody, mangled pulp. And so I've tossed it from this boat, this modesty, as you can see, into this river, where it's been swallowed by, were they sharks? Perhaps piranhas? It doesn't matter, because it's gone now, and there was nothing as ridiculous as what I have just mentioned, and which has now been cast aside, and there is nothing we can do, nor that we need to. That's why we're headed now for Eden, where we'll be greeted by those hordes of Amazons for whom we've yearned so, who'll simply greet us and invite us to the most ambrosial orgies of both the body and the mind. It's not just hours till the morn. We've all eternity. You will see. We can stay here, or rather there, where we'll dissolve into the mouths and breasts and cunts and hearts of women who'll adore us, who will arouse and then delight us with such pleasures as we've never known before, which shall make up for the horrors that we've. Well now, that's strange. I can't recall them. How about yourselves, the two of you? Have you forgotten them as well? I understand them as a concept. They were the mainstay of my life, the main event, but for the life of me, the life to come, I can't recall a single one. For now, there only seem to be these mouths and breasts and cunts and hearts and soothing, loving words. These are embraces of a sort one can't imagine, though I am trying. Not doing badly, truth to tell. There are these fireworks in my brain, and in my milky, viscous limbs, and in my cock, which is on fire in a way I thought not possible any more. Am I now 20? It would seem so. And am I human? Hand me a mirror. But dreams contain no mirrors. At least I thought not. I am alive, that much is clear. I am this vast, uncharted space. Well, they'll explain it. There is no question that they will, as they rub their milk-white breasts over my face and laugh like angels, who will never let me go into the morning, that hateful morning, with its blood-red sun and thoughts and fears and pains felt in a body I never wanted in the first place, but which now here just gives me pleasure. How am I to understand such a thing? I am happy now. Were I to suffer here, with them it would not matter. It would be a different thing entirely, a thing to learn from and to cherish, and not a thing which lays me low. Life is deadly, but dreams are lively, and for now I am alive. Please do not wake me, at least as long as you can manage. Yes, I hear it. It is dreadful. I can feel it without seeing it. It's dawn. It's coming soon. Why am I weeping? Of course I'm weeping. It's like always, these foul gods, who dangle joys and offer promises that desires can be fulfilled, only to yank them from our hands and to throw us once again upon a pyre which consumes us. Like the one that's on the doorstep of this space that I've been privileged to inhabit these few hours, but am now forced to abdicate. I will awaken, and I will tell myself, or selves, that I must do this thing or that, not for a reason, only to help me slog through all these hours, all these endless, brutal hours of which my paltry life consists, until the door which guards this space, this sacred space, opens once again, and I rush in to taste of happiness for a time. That is all that I can hope for, and is enough, other than death, which won't be long, and, it is hoped, not be that bad.